Well, this way from here back seems to be okay. But now that's shifted the back end of that thing a little bit over. It's hitting kind of hard right there. Take just a little bit more out of this side. It's got to go back another maybe a little over 1/16 of an inch. So this shoulder where this flares out has got to go back. So I'm safe on that. But the hammers will go in as far as just in and out. The hammers will go in okay. There's something else hitting now. I'm not sure what it is. Back in here. Part of it is this back of the trigger's touching right there. That's part of it. The next thing is this this upper portion was twisted, and I told you I could use the lower portion to untwist it, so I've got to put it in there and see which way it's off and try to make that happen by either taking out more off of this side or more off of this side. It's still too tight to really be practical, but it's in the middle. There's a screw. That screw right there is touching this side. I need to take that over a little bit. That's a minor detail. Let that shift back over. Actually, this thing fits really nicely in here and back to about right there. There's something back in the back that's not letting it go down. Part of it is a little screw there. It's got to be relieved. Something around right there. This little screw right here. I got to put a little recessed area right there to let that screw go in. I had to turn that around. The grain is going the wrong way for me to cut it this direction. I just wasn't having any fun with that at all. All right, that's still got to go back almost an eighth. I'm going to put the top in there and then put this in to see if I'm right, but I think it's got to go back quite a bit. It's still hitting right there on the very back. See this tip, how that's tipped up? That's what that mark is. The trigger guard covers up this whole area right here, so what I do in here is not super critical, but I'm pretty sure that's got to come back. The depth on the front is good, how far it sits in there. But on the back, I'm still hitting on something real hard. It's still back here on this little dovetail. I think I'm close to ready to put in that bolt, drilling the hole in the back and putting some tension on it the way it's supposed to have tension with a bolt. I've got the trigger group pretty well where it'll sit in there. The only thing I could be off on is this is not down far enough. It's not inset. And now it will go down further than that because I haven't put pressure on it, but when I tap it lightly with a hammer it goes down. So it may be too thick from here to here for that bolt to catch. The bolt is my gauge. That tells me how thick this is, because how long that bolt is. When you put it in from the bottom and it is flush on the top, it's the right thickness. So I think I'm about there and ready to drill the hole. Now when I drill that hole, I'll drill it to the back side of this, so that whenever the bolt goes in, and this bolt is actually tapered, which most of them are, so as it goes in, it tightens up because it's bigger at this end than that end. Really good design. Old guns had that. So I'm going to drill the hole off-centered towards the back, so when it pulls down, it pulls all this metal backwards, which seats it tighter up here at the front. That's the desired effect. So it'll take me both hands to fit all this together, but that's where I'm gonna mark the top and the bottom, and start in from the bottom and start in from the top, and then meet in the middle. You gotta be careful about the threads inside that hole. On this top part is threaded, to get a real skinny little punch. Now I'm gonna mark straight out from that hole. Now I have two little marks on this side, and I can connect the top and bottom, and I can get a parallel line to that hole. And I can watch that line as I'm drilling these two holes. Now, I'm not saying I'm done inletting everything, but when I get that bolt in there and it pulls it down together, then I can start fine-tuning where it's leaving black marks. That's the fine-tuning process. Believe it or not, this has been the rough stuff. See, I've got a mark here that's perpendicular to this hole and a mark here that's perpendicular to that hole, and I can just connect those two dots, and then I've got a mark that's parallel to the hole down here. This is parallel to that. Now, I need to be able to see this as I'm drilling, so I'm going to put this at a comfortable height, comfortable direction where this is coming up and hitting me right in the eye. Now, this is the smaller end of this screw. This thing is tapered. It's big here and a little there. And I'm going to drill the hole all the way through with this, and then I'll enlarge it. And this line is my guideline. See, I can see that thing's aimed right at my face. All I got to do is line this up with this drill shank, and I'm going the right direction.